Oh, LDBC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Okay, guys, just got through watching Danny Jacobs versus Sergio Mora. Listen, man, Sergio Mora spent more time on the darn canvas than he did on his feet. People, that's just the way that is. Look, Sergio Mora got the living hell beat out of him. This dude got his behind. And you know, for all the junk that Sergio Mora was talking, I would have thought that he put up a better fight. But nah, Sergio Mora got beat down, man. It was a beat down. This fight was a mismatch. It was a mismatch from start to finish, man. Sergio Mora should have never been in the ring with Danny Jacobs, man. He should have never been in that ring. And you know what, man? It just kind of shows you just how much more skilled that Danny Jacobs is than Sergio Mora. And folks, that's just the way that is. You can definitely see a skill set discrepancy between the two fighters, man. Danny Jacobs started out early, man, established his jab, man, and I saw Danny Jacobs get in on the inside, and he was really working Sergio Mora on the inside. He was ripping his body. He would come back up to the head. He'd throw a nice little hook, and then he'd step back, and then he'd come back in again, throw a rip to the body, hook to the head. Danny Jacobs kept a consistent game plan, which is what I liked, okay? And then he dropped Sergio Mora in the early rounds, dropped him, and, you know, I knew it was going to get bad. It was going to get worse for Sergio Mora, man. It got worse as the fight played on. He was just a punching bag. And then by the sixth round, 7, 8 round, he was just a walking punching bag. Or no, he wasn't a walking punching bag. He was a punching bag that can move backwards. And that's just the way that is. I mean, I don't know what Sergio Mora did good in this fight. When he caught Danny Jacobs with a couple of flush shots, he caught him. But Danny Jacobs ate those. He ate them and kept coming forward. I mean, Danny Jacobs ate all those flush shots. And Sergio Mora had no effect. He couldn't hurt Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs hurt Sergio Mora several times in this fight. And then Sergio Mora was really just getting his ass whooped so bad that his corner, they had to throw the towel in, folks. They threw the towel in and they stopped the fight, which it was a good stoppage, man, because Sergio Mora was not coming back in this fight. It wasn't going to happen, y'all. It just wasn't going to happen. And, for the life of me, Sergio, why you talk so much junk, man? Why you talk all that junk? You talked a lot of trash, man, and then you couldn't even back it up. Like, dude, come on, man. I was expecting you to just at least try to back up the trash he was talking. And that's just the way that is. Danny Jacobs, he called out Triple G. He been calling out Triple G for a good little while. But, I have to see it when I believe it, man. I don't think so. I don't think because, he keep calling him out. And I told Danny J, I was telling him, I said, look, man, if you going to call this dude out, really call him out, don't be surprised if they give you a low ball offer. It's just going to happen. I don't think that, K2 Promotion, I don't think they got the kind of bread to pay these guys. I don't think he got enough bread to pay Jacobs, but I think the reward is going to outweigh the risk when it comes to Gennady Golovkin. Because if you can beat a person that can beat this unstoppable monster, as people call him, if you're the guy that can do what nobody else can do, then that's going to pay dividends. Even if you're a guy that can make it a tough fight, man. See, they're going to want a trilogy. And see, then in the rematch, you're going to be able to demand a whole lot more money than you did the first time. I mean, it's called business sense, and it's called taking a risk. And a lot of these guys, man, they don't want to take risk, man. A lot of these guys, they don't want to take a risk at all. They just don't want to. And somebody's going to have to take a risk. It's either going to have, and Team Golovkin, they not coming off that money. And they ain't taking no risk, man. Jacob's going to have to take a risk. He's going to have to take a risk. First of all, to get Triple G in that ring, and then, it's going to be a risk. It's going to be a tough fight. Do I think Jacobs could beat Triple G? I think that's a 60-40 fight. I'm still not convinced, man, him beating up Mora like this, it didn't really show me as much as I needed to know about him. I mean, it showed me his offensive onslaught. And Sergio Mora did last longer than Peter Quillen. I mean, let's just put that out there. He lasted longer than Quillen. But it don't show me enough, man. Like, can he handle a Gennady Golovkin? That's a 60-40 fight, man. I still think even at age 34, I think Triple G got a lot more arsenal weapons, I think he do. I think Triple G is very good at that mid-range fighting. I think he's very good in the middle, man, and he can actually keep the mid-range. I don't think Jacobs is fast enough on his feet. I don't think so. To really keep Triple G, setting him up in the traps and also using that to actually get out of trouble. I don't think his feet are fast enough. Now, what Jacobs does possess, he got a heck of a jab, and I can tell you what, man, he got power. And Triple G definitely would not try to walk right through Daniel Jacobs. He won't try to do that, man, because Daniel Jacobs got that blinding knockout power. And Jacobs is also, he's very deceptively fast, man. He's real fast, especially when he's trying to hit you with a power shot. People don't see them things coming, man. Sergio Mora, he ain't seen it. A lot of them shots, man, he ain't even see them coming. And from the naked eye, it really looked like that Daniel Jacobs is throwing these punches very slow, but they coming fast, man. They coming real fast. And Sergio Mora is an elusive fighter, and Jacobs was catching him. So you can imagine, man, Jacobs will catch Triple G several times. Like, it ain't gonna be a fight where it's one-sided, where Triple G just gonna walk forward, hunt Daniel Jacobs down, and then eventually knock him out. It's not gonna be that kind of fight, man. It's going to be a fight, man. It's going to be a tough fight. And Triple G is going to have his work cut out for him if he thinks that if he's just going to walk forward and beat, Daniel Jacobs like that. Jacobs called him out. But, my thing is, okay, I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it, man. Like, call him out, man. Get in the ring with this dude. I know, man, it might not be what you want, but good grief, man. If you can hurt this dude, make this dude understand what your name is. Put some respect on your name. The paydays will be more, man. It'll be more. The reward will outweigh the risk if you can get in there and do what you got to do. But, I'm sorry. It's just that age of boxing where the challenger or the B-side, they're not getting breaks. They ain't getting no breaks. And every fight in history, man, they've had to actually take a chance, man. They've had to, have risk involved. And, Triple G, one of them guys, he ain't trying to take no risk. But, I guess they feel like that he's the guy. And unfortunately, I think that he's probably a bit more popular than Daniel Jacobs. So in that fight, Triple G would probably be the A side. And that's just the way that is. Okay? But you guys tell me what you think. Answer some questions for me, guys, in the comment section. Do you think Jacobs could beat Triple G? If so, by, what? Do you think he'll win by split decision, majority, knockout? Or do you think Triple G just runs right through Jacobs and knocks him out in the early rounds? This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. Congratulations to Daniel Jacobs. Big shout out to Al Heyman. Thank you, Al Heyman, for putting on these fights, okay? Again, because nobody else, what is everybody else doing? They ain't doing diddly poo, and that's just the way that is. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.